Do you ever wonder how top tech companies like Google, Apple, and Amazon keep their marketing engines running smoothly despite massive project scopes and high stakes? It's actually not even about having massive budgets or cutting edge tools. It's actually all about mastering the project management strategies that anyone can adopt. In this video, I'm going to reveal the insider strategies that these tech giants use to manage all of their projects super effectively. It really all boils down to three things: learning how to prioritize and focus, using the infamous OKR method to manage all of your tasks, and fostering effective communication within your teams. Whether you lead a small team at a startup as a marketing manager, social media manager, digital marketing manager, lead designer, or you work independently as a freelancer, or you're a student just hoping to learn some tips to project manage better, these tips are really going to help you create a system that's going to help supercharge your productivity and workflow. And it's what I've used as a marketing director working at a tech startup for like the last 7 years, and it has been amazing. So let's dive in. Starting with tip number 1, which is to learn how to prioritize and focus effectively. Whether you are a marketing manager, a lead designer, or whatever team you work for, one of the most important skills to have is to make sure you know how to prioritize efficiently. In the past, I definitely handled projects like a chicken with her head cut off. I actually won an award at work one year called the Get Her Done Award, which is essentially because I was known to take any work, any task that anyone gives me and just get her done. Yes, I was being recognized as a star player of a team because of it, but I was also biting off way more than I can chew and effectively burning myself out in the process. Because I was always rushing to get everything done for everyone every single day, I was also making really silly mistakes that could have been easily avoided. There's this quote that one of my managers told me at the time that really stuck with me by the author Frank Sonnenberg, but the quote is, "If everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority." Instead of setting your sights on always getting everything done, the goal should always be to engage in deep work. The term deep work was coined by Cal Newport in his book, Deep Work, and the definition of it is a state of concentration and undistracted focus on cognitively demanding tasks. His argument with deep work is that when you are able to engage in more deep work, it will improve your performance, it will improve your efficiency, you're going to achieve better results, and you're going to feel more satisfaction when it comes to your work. The problem with deep work is you can't do it when you are feeling overwhelmed about a massive, endless to-do list. And I think we've all been there. We've looked at our massive, endless to-do list and just felt paralyzed. So if you're currently at that place where you have that massive, endless to-do list, here's my favorite strategy when it comes to learning how to properly prioritize your tasks. The method that I like to use is called the Eisenhower matrix, which essentially prompts you to look at all of your tasks and then label them with an urgency as well as an importance. You're essentially going to categorize each task into one of 4 quadrants. The first quadrant being urgent and important, which are the tasks that you're going to need to do now or ASAP. The second quadrant is for tasks that are important but not urgent. These are the tasks that you're going to schedule in for a later date and time. The third quadrant are for tasks that are urgent but not important. These are the tasks that you will likely need to delegate to someone else. They need to get done, but maybe you don't have the skill set or it doesn't quite fit within your specific scope, so you need to get somebody else working on it ASAP. The last quadrant is your not urgent and not important tasks. And these are the tasks that you should just remove from your task board altogether, or you can put them in a bucket called maybe someday. By using the Eisenhower matrix, I can super easily and quickly triage all of my tasks when I'm creating a new project to properly figure out which ones I need to schedule in for today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, the next month, and which tasks I need to either delegate or remove. A really important aspect to remember when you are going through this process is to make sure you go back and review and make adjustments to those priorities at a timely basis. One thing all big tech companies will have in common is that they will schedule regular meetings to actually review all of the tasks that are within a project, all of the projects, all of the objectives, to make sure that everyone is aligned on the objectives and what they need to do. Some companies use a method called Scrum, which I'm not going to go into in this specific video, but essentially you want to just make sure that you are scheduling 1 or 2 meetings a week just for the purpose of reviewing your task board, your projects, what's in the backlog, and to ask the team how they are doing. In these meetings, you want to assess your projects, your timelines, and the scope to make sure that it all still makes sense to reaching your main project objectives. If you're watching this video to learn how to manage projects for yourself, then schedule in these meetings with yourself anyways. So 2 times a week, sit down and go through your entire task board and be honest with yourself about what you should be accomplishing that week and what can be scheduled for a later time. Now for tip 2, which is to implement the OKR method. The OKR method stands for Objectives and Key Results, and it's a goal-setting method used by Google, Intel, and other major tech companies to set lofty, ambitious goals with measurable results. This method was designed to align and motivate teams by connecting company, team, and personal objectives to measurable results. And it's a great method to use to manage any project of any size. OKRs essentially break into 2 major components. The first being objectives, which are qualitative descriptions of what you're hoping to achieve. Objectives should be short, inspirational, and engaging. And then once you've set your objectives, you want to go into your key results. These are the quantitative measures used to track the progress of reaching those objectives. Each objective should have 2 to 5 key results that are specific and time-bound. Using the OKR method helps with several things. It helps with alignment and transparency, making sure that everyone on your team is super clear about what the goals are and what we need to do to work towards those goals. It's also going to help with focus and commitment to priorities, because when everyone understands what the objectives and key results are, it compels teams to focus on the most impactful tasks that are going to help you achieve your goals. The third benefit of using the OKR method is that it allows you to track your progress in real time. Due to the nature of setting key results, it makes it super easy to identify exactly what to track, and it also allows you to adjust and adapt quickly and easily when you need to. My team has been using the OKR method to manage and break down all of our projects for like the last 3 years or so. So I can say it's a tried and true method that really helps you have a better understanding of how to manage projects, how to prioritize, and align everyone on the same goals. For my work, I actually created a Notion project management dashboard based on the OKR method and also using the Eisenhower prioritization matrix, which is what my entire marketing team uses to manage every single project that happens within our startup. Let me quickly show you how it works. So here's what my project management dashboard looks like. By using the OKR method, we are breaking all of our projects into objectives, initiatives, and tasks. Objectives are your objectives, or the O in OKR. Initiatives are going to be all of your key results. And then tasks are going to be all the things that you need to do on the day-to-day to be able to accomplish those key results and work towards your objectives. Let's say the objective is to build a new community on Discord. Under the objectives document, you'll see a space for tags, which is where I usually include tags that helps me categorize the different projects. So it could be like social media, email, website, for example, if I'm working in marketing. Then you'll see a space for initiatives. Again, initiatives are your key results, so you want to make sure that you are connecting those initiatives to the proper objective. You'll also see a percentage completed. So every time you mark an initiative as complete, it'll add to this progress bar to show how close you are to reaching your objective. And then of course there is a status, so we can list this one as in progress. Next, we want to add in some initiatives, which are going to be your key results. So for the Discord one, We can link the Discord objective to the initiative. So a key result or an initiative that could help me reach my objective of building a community on Discord could look like signing up 20 members. It could be adding 3 helpful bots to the community. And it could be something like starting a weekly stand-up in one of the channels. Once you have your key results set, then you can start creating the tasks that you need to do in order to reach those key results. So for the key result of adding 3 helpful bots to the community, I could be looking for an automated YouTube announcement bot. I could look for a music bot, and I could look for a message scheduling bot. So when you're adding tasks to your initiatives, you're essentially breaking down those key results into how you're planning to achieve it. So when you're looking at the structure again, you have your tasks at the very bottom, which are the actual actions that you can do. You have your initiatives or key results in the middle, which are the measures or progress that makes for a successful Discord channel in this scenario. And then you have your objective at the top, which is to create this community in Discord. By breaking down all of your projects into this hierarchy, you can then super easily see exactly what the goal is, exactly what it means to achieve that goal, and then what you need to do to actually accomplish it. When you look at the dashboard as a whole, it's built in that exact hierarchy. So your projects are at the top, then you have all of your current initiatives. When you click into the initiative, you can see the objective or project that that initiative is for. Then at the bottom, you'll see your tasks. I have an overdue column, a this week column, and an upcoming column. So it breaks down your tasks further into these specific timelines. To help further my productivity, I also always include a Kanban board, a calendar view, and a timeline view for the tasks as well. To use the Eisenhower matrix to make sure you're prioritizing your tasks well, when you click into any task, you'll see that there are 2 fields, one called urgency and one called importance. Under the urgency field, you can either select urgent or not urgent. Under the importance field, you can select either low importance, medium importance, or high importance. So when you're reviewing your task, you can quickly triage, okay, what is the urgency of this task? What is the importance of this task? And that'll help you figure out where in your schedule you should schedule that task, and also whether you need to delegate it. Besides just the main dashboard view, you can go into each database as well. So the objectives database, the initiatives database, as well as the tasks database. When you go into those databases, you can then see all of the important details that are related to the objectives or the initiatives or the tasks. This essentially will just be your detailed view of each group of tasks. So it makes it super simple for you to do your reviews and your adjustments and to share it with the team. This dashboard has not only helped my team become more productive, but it's also created enough transparency so that we always know what's going on, what everyone is working on, as well as learning to keep our eyes on the common goal. That is why all of the major tech companies use this method to set goals. So it truly is like a science-backed and proven method to help you project manage better. If you don't want to create your own dashboard, you can find mine in the description box below. But if you do want to try to create your own, the 3 main things that you're going to need is that objectives database, a key results database, which is your initiatives database, and a tasks database. I've been working in marketing in a tech company for 7 years now, and there was a period in our company where there was a lot of silos going on. It's probably because we all work remotely, and when we're not having our weekly meetings, there honestly isn't too much communication going on. So there was a point where there wasn't really good communication happening between the dev team and the marketing team. And due to that lack of communication, one team was always playing catch up. Because the dev team wasn't properly communicating how their releases are going, how their work is going, what they're currently working on, whenever a release date come, they would tell us like a day before that they're submitting the release to Apple or Google Play Store, and marketing would essentially be scrambling to get all of the materials ready so that we can release on time. This always slowed down our release date, and it just wasn't working for us. So what we decided to do is, instead of just having marketing meetings and dev meetings every week, we started hosting like inter-team meetings where we would have one meeting a week where both teams sat in to update each other about what's going on. At this point, we were still a super small team, so we didn't have a dedicated product manager. But once we hired on a product manager, that person then holds the role of being the key communicator between the two teams. So instead of the two teams having to meet together once a week to update each other, the product manager then sits in both the dev meetings and the marketing meetings and acts as the liaison between all of the work that we're doing. Just like how reviewing and adjusting your project scopes are important to do weekly, you need to make sure that you are communicating with everyone who is involved on a project weekly or even daily if the project is really urgent. Especially when you work in a fast-paced corporate environment, any misunderstandings can lead to significant setbacks. So you need to be able to foster an environment where everyone feels safe to be able to share what they're struggling with, what they're currently lagging on, and you need to have a team that really trusts each other and can count on each other for support as well as open communication. There's sometimes this stigma in the tech world where people think that expressing their emotions means that they're not being emotionally professional at work, which isn't the case at all. As Simon Sinek mentions in his book, The Infinite Game, there's a huge difference between people who work together and people who actually trust each other. To foster good communication within a team, you have to help people understand that when something happens that isn't meant to happen, that they then have a problem and that they are not the problem. So how do you ensure clear and concise and effective communication between your team members? The first thing to work on is clarity and conciseness. Everyone is so busy working heads down on their projects that sometimes when something is due, the best thing that you can do for them is to communicate as clearly and concisely as possible. Even if you're planning a meeting, let's say, put in the meeting description an outline of what the meeting is going to be about. That is one tip I definitely recommend for anyone who is looking to schedule a meeting, is to write out a meeting outline before you go into that meeting. When you go into a meeting blind, it's easy to get sidetracked and go on tangents and talk about other things. But when you go into a meeting with a focus and an objective in mind and an outline, it's way easier to keep that meeting on track. The second is to make sure you have regular updates. These updates don't have to be long, but schedule in like 5 or 10 minutes, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, just to check in with your team, how they're doing, what their progress is there anything that they need help on, are there any barriers to the project, to make sure that everything is running smoothly. The third is to create a safe feedback culture. Feedback is so important when you're working on any project, especially when you are working on a team. The reason you have this team is because you're putting great minds all together to work towards the objective. So you need to be able to lean on these other brains to help you do your job better. When you're creating a feedback culture, you should always lead by example. So ask for tons of feedback and make sure that when you are giving feedback, you are giving constructive and positive feedback. When you put all of these things together, you're going to be able to create a trusting team environment, which is honestly going to help your productivity so much in the long run. If you're currently really trying to work on the communication with your team, some tools I recommend are Slack or Discord for daily team messaging, having a Notion dashboard like the one I created, or using some other project management dashboard where it gives anyone the function to comment on anything. And if you work remotely, using asynchronous tools like Loom or Bubble are going to be great when you're trying to explain to someone something really, really specific about the project, because it allows you to record a video of whatever you're doing, making it way more clear whether you're trying to ask for feedback or ask for help. So those are the 3 most important strategies when it comes to project management that all of the major tech companies are using to effectively project manage. Making sure that you are prioritizing tasks and making space for focus implementing the OKR method in all of your projects, and fostering super effective and safe communication environments within your team. If you've been struggling about creating a system for managing your projects and your goals, definitely give the OKR method a try. Like I said, I do have my Notion dashboard linked in the description box below if you want to purchase that and use that. But you can also create your own and just make sure that you are breaking your projects down into your objectives, initiatives, and tasks. If you enjoyed this video and like watching videos about productivity, I would highly recommend watching this video next, where I talk about how to get out of a rut based on the strategies that I learned from Ali Abdaal's book, Feel Good Productivity. Otherwise, if you have any questions about anything I mentioned in this video, make sure to comment them below or join my Discord channel so that we can discuss it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!